Yeah, can you feel it? Alright. Welcome, everyone, to the 17th episode of Alan Moore's Porch. I want to throw a hypothetical at you. If I have a universe, and you have a universe, and I have a tentacle monster, see, there he is, and my tentacle monster has a tentacle that reaches all the way across the space void and devours your universe. I devour your universe! Now, to introduce to you a man, a freak among men, worthy of Barnum's own Museum of Wonders, God's only man spared by the butcher, Mr. Justin Partridge.
Oh, sweet God. I couldn't take the pleasure that I normally take in my entrance because I was laughing so hard at Cthulhu, Daniel Plainview.
Daniel Plainview.
That fucking, as soon as I heard that you were actually, that was the punchline to that, I lost it. I could not. It's 17 episodes. Holy shit. We got a goodie for you tonight, guys. Just to get this out of the way, you can find us to listen to this episode and all of our previous episodes coming to you live from beautiful Geekopolis, owned by Brian, who's in the corner. Round of applause. Oh, that's even better. God, Paul Schaefer over here, everybody. Why the fuck didn't you play that for my entrance?
Because I was over here, asshole.
You reach over. It's like one key.
Your tentacle.
Yeah, your tentacle. Just reach all. But you can find this episode and past episodes that we've done if you go to YouTube and search Alan Moore's Porch. You can also subscribe to our channel so you can listen to this episode and past episodes. Please like, comment, subscribe. Still inching towards that fucking iTunes cup. It's now just become like the golden fleece to me. Like, if I ever figure it out, I'll just attain enlightenment, and we'll be a real podcast.
Totally holding.
You can also follow us on Twitter at Alan Moore's Porch, all one word, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Alan Moore's Porch. Okay, I'm gonna do something unprecedented.
Okay,
I'm bringing up the guest now.
Okay,
I'm coming out of the fucking gate.
All right,
both barrels.
Let's knock it out.
If you, we're thrilled as hell to have her back. She's a hell of a guest. Our second two-timer. She's our Alec Baldwin in Geekopolis. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gitana Mims. I love that you figured out the sound effect. Oh, God damn it, yes. Hi, Gitana, how you doing?
I'm great!
So, I wanted to bring you up at the very beginning, not only because you're a great guest, but I feel like I need a bunch of minds to unpack what I want to talk about at the end.
Yeah, that's right.
My wife and I recently, we watched Captain America. We went and saw Captain America Winter Soldier. It's fantastic. It's great. I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about, there's nothing to say. I mean, it's incredible.
Go watch it.
It's everything. It's just amazing. What I want to talk about is there was a trailer at the beginning of this movie that makes me want to disown cinema in just a wide swath. I don't want to fucking watch movies anymore because this movie got made. It's a movie.
Terrified.
It's a movie called Blended. Is it Blended?
It's Blended.
Blended?
Yeah. It's the most asinine name for this movie.
Starring America's own Adam Sandler and
teaming together again.
Yeah, back again for one more romp. Drew Barrymore. Now, let me just.
I've already sold.
Let me try to unpack
because the payments on our Kia are stacking up.
Let me try to really get to the bottom of this premise. They go on a date. It's a bad blind date.
Has to be. Kind of chemistry?
He's got.
Yes.
I fucking wish, because if so, I'd forget it immediately. He has 3 daughters.
And she's bringing up 3 lovely boys?
Yeah, and she has 3 precocious boys. Hang on, save your question. Because I already know you have 17. Exactly. So they go on a bad blind date. Horrible. Everything goes wrong.
Yeah,
they part ways. I never want to see you again. I never want to see you again. Guess which one was Adam Sandler? she leaves her credit card at the restaurant. Oh no!
Wait, she paid for the dinner?
Apparently, that's yet another. So.
Oh, Hollywood's progressive.
Yeah, she's got a credit card.
Women pay
she
for
can
things.
vote and drive. It's incredible.
The things we're letting women do these days.
They apparently work for the same guy. They work for the same boss. Every sigh that you're going to utter is exactly the sighs that I did watching this fucking piece of shit in the theater. They have the same boss. The boss is going to go to Africa.
I want to interject right now because the whole thing, the thing that really resonated with me when I saw this trailer was something that you had said, and we fucking have it on record.
We have it under glass somewhere.
We have it under glass somewhere. You had made a comment during one of our podcasts that Adam Sandler is just filming his vacations now.
Yeah, he's just inviting people. He's like, hey, Terry Crews, Kevin Nealon, you're not fucking doing anything.
Hey, Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq. Shaq is in this motherfucker.
In between shows, you want to come,
So they have the same boss. They're going to Africa. Somehow he convinces the boss that they're going to go to Africa, and then Drew Barrymore's like, my boys want nothing more.
This will be
than
good
to
for them.
go to Africa. What fucking 13-year-old boy who is just filled with semen and testosterone? He's going through the throes of puberty. He looks at some National Geographic, is like, I want nothing more than to go to Africa.
I think what she was...
That's all you see.
Yeah, National Geographic is just floppy tits.
I think what it is that she's trying to pull them away from their life. Like, it's too hectic, and Africa is...
You have already thought about it more.
Simple. No, because it's in...
Africa is simple.
Yeah.
with its
malaria,
herpes simplex, AIDS.
It's
AIDS.
Top
That's
3. Yeah.
It's not we've got. It's not we've got. It's like it's not my phone's not charging. My dinner plans got canceled. No, it's like I've got AIDS. There's no food. I'm gonna die.
I watched this trailer, and my wife is sitting next to me, just feeling the hate radiating off of
pulsating,
my body. Just real
like a
thick
neutron
and
star.
Rich. Like, oh god, So my question is just how does this happen? How does somebody take a meeting with Adam Sandler? Adam Sandler says, I want to go to Africa. I want to invite some of my friends.
And we're just going to film
Drew Barrymore. We're just going to film it. And someone's like, I'm already writing a check. Don't leave here without a sack of money.
See, the good thing about being a Jew is not only are you chosen to go to heaven, you're chosen to make movies. It's just gonna fucking happen.
We have to blame your people now?
You know what? We killed Jesus. We make shitty movies. Okay?
We'll take both of those bullets for you goy bastards.
Have fun with your one day of Christmas.
All right, glad we solved that problem.
And your stationery supplies on your 7.
Glad we got to the bottom of that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we have another, because last week we gave away a door prize, and it was the only way that we actually got questions into the end of the show. So throughout the show, if you can think of a question, a great question at the end of the show, we will give you this near mint copy of The Extremist #1. It was Vertigo did this weird thing where they were resurrecting all the shit that they hadn't published in a really long time, like in 2008 or so. It's 100 pages. It's written by Peter Milligan with art by Ted McKeever. It's a really fucking great story. It's just one and done, and it's Peter Milligan. He's a legend. Our blow up the format this week is a goodie.
Fuck.
What? Are you just excited about the segments?
I did, and I forgot the goddamn names.
Oh shit, man!
But, no. Give me. Just stall for time. I'm gonna.
He's giving me the stretch. He's giving me.
Bleed it out.
To reiterate what blow up the format is. Blow up the format is the thing that we do every episode now. We have a different opening segment or game that we play before we actually get into the main topic.
So really, it's part of your format.
Well, it's just a title.
Nobody asked
It's a
you.
fucking title. It's weird. Listen, I don't need notes on this. All right, I need support.
Come on.
So if you would like to, we'll take care of that later. If you want to submit a blow up the format game, you can email us at alanmooresporch@gmail.com. with the subject line, blow up the format, and then describe the game you'd like to play. We'll play it. You can also tweet us at Alan Moore's Porch, all one word, with the hashtag blow up the format. This week, we bring you Celebrity FanFiction Theatre. Now, what this is that we're going to pick a random impression for someone to do while reading this choice bit of fan fiction that I found today, for the help of my friend from Between the Panels, Diana. She sent us the link to one of the dirtiest Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes / fiction I've ever read. A few things to note about this story before we go forward. This is pre-serum Steve Rogers, so he's a little guy. And Bucky Barnes is still Bucky Barnes. And this is also a story in which Steve Rogers is the bottom bitch to Bucky Barnes.
Well, he would be.
So, pre-serum.
Pre-serum, yeah.
I think anyone is going to be bottom to someone named Bucky.
So, what we're going to do...
Okay. I kind of shit in the pot with this one. Because I put all the names, because I cut them all up, and I put them in a little thing, and I left them at the house. However, if Gitana's up to it,
oh God.
I'm going to have her, or anybody in the audience, just randomly shout out an impression, and it'll work like this. I think we'll read one paragraph.
Yeah, I was going to say one or two.
One paragraph.
It's not that long.
Thank
Christ, it's not that long. It's rough.
We'll read one paragraph as another, and then we'll trade off back and forth, and we'll just spit out different.
Okay, do you want to start with Gitana and then go to the audience?
I'm going to start. Okay, who wants to start reading?
I'll start reading.
Okay. Who do you want him to be?
Any impression, just the first one.
Donald Duck.
Jesus
Christ. This is going to be awkward as hell.
That's you might have to fuck with levels on this at some point. This is just gonna put a cap on my talent, if anything. Can you? Because I don't think I can do it.
Okay. We'll do. I'll Sean Connery.
Oh.
Bucky liked Steve's lips. Steve knew Bucky liked his lips because she was never exactly shy about expressing his opinion on them. He said that Steve put a pencil to his mouth sometimes and it was distracting. He said that Steve bit his lips a lot, making them fuller and pinker. I'm spitting all over my phone. And that was his excuse for kissing Steve when they were in semi-public place and could get cut. Okay, another paragraph over. Okay. So from me, Pacino. Let's do Pacino. If you have an impression you want us to do while reading this slash fiction, the people that just came in, shout it out whenever we point at you guys.
Steve was warm now, damn warm. With Bucky pressed tight against his lips bruised with Bucky's attention. They were on the floor because the mattress squeaked and they wouldn't wake up the whole damn building if they weren't careful. The ground was a little hard and Steve could feel it in the morning, especially with Bucky on top of him like this. But he couldn't help bring himself to care, not when his lips were so hot and swollen with every press of Bucky's tongue. Truthfully, Bucky could go on for hours just kissing him, pressed against him like he wanted their bodies to become one.
Okay, audience. Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil's the first one here. I'm trying to. What's Dr. Evil? That's
Lorne Michaels.
Steve whimpered when Bucky's knee moved in a way that caused the slow embers of their kissing to ignite, and yeah, Steve had been hard for a while. But he was suddenly aching with need and fire. Buck, he whispered when it was clear that the knee movement was not accidental. Bucky pressed his lips to the line of Steve's collar. Oh, God damn it. Impression. Harry Carey.
Oh, God.
Just, wish I could mark you, was all he said. And Steve knew what he meant. He wanted to mark him someplace visible so everyone would know that he belonged to Bucky. And Steve shivered at the thought.
DTs. Oh, that is commitment!
Oh,
you can't come on! Steve mumbled as he thrust his hip upwards to give them more incentive to move faster. He knew Bucky could move faster, and he could feel it through his trousers. Bucky was just as hard and bigger, too.
Music.
Steve felt himself throb at the thought of another man. He knew he needed him as soon as possible.
Okay, another impression.
Ellen DeGeneres.
What?
Yes!
Oh my God. Where were we at? Bucky, Steve.
Bucky, sweet.
Gotta stretch your range a little bit.
Well,
I don't.
this is part of the impression.
She's just being bubbly.
That's Bucky. Steve hissed when he had recovered. The others still didn't say anything, but Steve accidentally let out a loud whisper when their cocks brushed together. Hot and not enough. Steve could normally put a lid on it, but he was waiting so long, it was so warm to feel the repercussions. But Bucky looked at him and asked, "Do I need to cover your mouth?" Another impression.
Stephen Wright.
Oh Jesus, this is gonna take forever.
Bucky maneuvered himself so he could open up Steve with one hand and cover Steve's mouth with the other.
Yeah.
Bucky's hand was warm over his lips, and he definitely needed it. When he felt Bucky's finger, slick with Vaseline, press against his hole.
Yes! The fact that this is the one where it starts to get to the sex is amazing to me.
It pushed in, searching, opening him. Heart blossomed inside of him, and he was panting by the time Bucky pressed in a second finger. How fucking long is this? Because I got a feeling.
This is just foreplay, baby. This is
two more, and then we'll stop.
Oh yeah, it gets heavy. Okay, another impression.
Christopher Walken.
Bucky removed both of his hands to Steve's disappointment. He wiped the hand that had been inside him of Steve on a nearby towel and picked up Steve's legs to wrap around his hips. The blonde immediately locked his ankles together, and Bucky's hand was back over his mouth. Good thing, too, because he nearly whined when he felt Bucky's wet cockhead brush against his hole. He felt electricity shoot up his spine when the other eased a little. And that concludes.
Wait! I gotta do theirs.
So, do you have a
Joel Osteen.
Oh Jesus! God in heaven!
Wait, but I should tell you that the tremors aren't from me doing an impression. I just had the shakes.
Yeah. He's like a World War I vet. Like
loses a lot less romanticism.
Thinking about the trenches.
Steve shut his eyes when he felt the laborious push. That slow drag set Steve's insides on fire. He was full beyond possible, as always with Bucky. And Bucky was pressed against him entirely by the time he was full to the hilt. The other's breath was hot in his ears as he waited for Steve to adjust, rocking his hips a little more to make the transition more comfortable. Steve didn't need it, though, and he arched him to make the point.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just wanted to read the most graphic gay shit
was
Joel Osteen.
A fucking hoot. That's a success. That's definitely coming back at some point.
And I honestly think that whole thing with people just pitching shit at us is a lot.
Oh, God damn it. But
because the ones I was writing at home was like, I could do this, and like I'm just going down the list.
Ellen DeGeneres was a goodie.
Ellen was really
I can't.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, like the
it was a visual joke.
Bits of that impression.
For those late to the show or walked right in at the beginning, what we did was we took erotic fan fiction and read it as different celebrities.
That's Celebrity FanFiction Theatre is our newest. So, we have to move the fuck on as quickly as possible.
Okay. The topic tonight is
we are going to today when we're thinking about this episode. It's usually born out of just Matt and I talking, and what were we talking about? Gary Oldman? I feel like we were talking about Gary Oldman or somebody.
I was talking about Conan, the newest Conan movie.
Yeah, with Jason Momoa.
And Stephen Lang and Ron Perlman being Ron Perlman.
just with furs and like weird
furs
scars.
and a giant beard.
We wanted to just talk about our favorites because there are actors, there are really good actors, there are really bad actors, but there's a special subset of actors that are just what's the technical term? Shit splat nuts, just real crazy. And we wanted to talk about our favorite ones, and we wanted to bring Gitana in because we knew that she would at least have a couple that would be really great. But Stephen Lang in the new Conan movie is definitely a goodie because he's
well, and that's just it because the first time I saw Stephen Lang and knew who Stephen Lang was, Public Enemy.
Oh yeah, with Johnny Depp. And he's also for those of you who don't know, he's the villain in Avatar. He's the weird white-headed villain in Avatar that really hates the Smurfs. And like drives a robot at the end. Like, yeah, it's
but like I remember because in that movie he's sitting there and he's like, take no shit, Texas Ranger.
Yeah,
they bring in a Texas Ranger into the movie. 10 minutes later, Johnny Depp's dead. 10 minutes later, we've got this fucking plot wrapped up. Because he's sitting there and he's just a grizzled old man and he's like, well, they said he was going to the movies tonight. And it's like, well, damn it, we don't know which one he is. We're going to have to postmit at both theaters. And he's like, what's playing at the Regent? Like, some Shirley Temple picture. What's playing down at the other? James Cagney. We're going to put all our men at the James Cagney picture. Why? Because he ain't going to see a damn Shirley Temple picture.
Then he pimps out of the room.
And then he just swaggers on, and then they denouement that bitch like quick smart. And then in this movie, in Conan, he's got this weird fucking headdress, he's got like this big-ass sword, and he's just walking around being a crazy...
Doesn't he have... I feel like he has 2 scars over his eye. Doesn't he have some sort of like...
His face is really fucked up.
Yeah. Gitana, you had a couple that you wanted to bring to... When the first thing that comes to your mind when you think insane actor, who do you think?
I think a movie, and it's just 2 that y'all have to agree with me. Face Off.
Oh, yeah. Face Off is an American classic.
John Travolta, Nic Cage. I mean, it's just Battle of the
Crazies.
And plus, like, the whole point of that movie...
The premise of the movie
them doing impressions of each other is the funniest thing in the world.
And I felt bad. I felt bad for Nic Cage because he had to be boring, depressed.
Crazy. Yeah, he just had to be like the mopey, like he's...
But John Travolta got to be weird Nic Cage. And how fun is it to be weird Nic Cage?
And just the opening of that movie with Nic Cage, actually as Nic Cage, dressed as a priest, he feels up a nun, like in the middle of their song. He fucks off to like his private plane. He does that horrifically gross pun about the peach.
Yeah, he can eat a peach for hours.
And then he gets thrown into a jet engine. Isn't that how they knock him out? He gets thrown into a big jet engine.
Oh no, I think the blast, like the jet propulsion blast.
But then, like 30 minutes later, John Travolta is wearing the crazy mask, and he's shamelessly flirting with his daughter.
Oh god!
Who at just any point in time he may fuck. God, that movie's an
the
American
way he always
classic.
said
I do not understand why there's not a Criterion edition of Face Off. I will hold that movie up until the day I die. I think it's amazing.
You know, as a child, I was really fascinated by the prison. How like it was
the magnet
Like
boots.
that scared the shit out of me, but also I was intrigued
because this movie wasn't set in the future.
No, it's like present. It's present day. It's present day.
Yeah, we're accepting the fact that magnetic boots are in prison. That's the reality we're living in.
They're like the big fucking Super Mario.
And the prison is in the middle of the ocean.
And there's just a shitload of doves all around San Francisco.
And they're the boots are the big Super Mario jump boots.
Yeah, like ski boots.
Like they had a shit ton of those left over from Super Mario. It's like, what are we going to do? Fucking put them on Nic Cage and say they're magnets. I'm filming stuff. The one that I got
a dub coordinator to call.
I keep running into 2 performances. Every time I think about this, I think about 2 performances from the same guy, Gary Oldman, who has just written the book on scenery chewing insane performances. His performance in Hannibal, which if you haven't seen Hannibal, the second Anthony Hopkins Hannibal movie, Gary Oldman is in it. You wouldn't know that because he's buried under 900 pounds of makeup. He's the guy that Hannibal slices up. And there's all these scenes of like him doing very disgusting, because he can't walk.
He's in a wheelchair. He's fucked.
He looks like a burn victim. There's like a bunch of shots of him like his manservant will peel an orange for him, and he'll sit him out on the veranda, and he'll be like, "I get me revenge on Hannibal," and then they give him a bit of orange, and then at the corner of his mouth, and then he sucks it up like an aardvark. He's just constantly like the most disgusting way. Just and then there's a bit of like him when he's got Hannibal in his clutches. He's on the way to where his giant fucking villa or wherever he lived. Like he's always puttering around this huge like Wayne Manor like house. But his manservant comes over, he's like, we have to celebrate! And his manservant brings over this giant, like, chalice of wine with a bendy straw in it, and just holds it by he's like, yes, he's finally mine! The second one that I have, and I don't understand why he didn't get any... We'll probably talk about another guy from this movie, but Gary Oldman's performance in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh my God.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, if you've never seen Dracula, it's the best looking, horrible movie you've ever seen. It's not a good movie. By no stretch of the imagination is it a good movie. Is it an entertaining movie?
Yes.
Fucking A right it is.
Yeah, it is.
Gary Oldman plays Dracula. And he goes through... He's like a Final Fantasy villain. Like, you beat him in one form, and then he shows up in another bigger form. And then you beat him in that form, and he shows up in a full monster form. The first one that he does is like the Bela Lugosi weird... He's all white. He's got long fingernails.
Yeah,
the goofy, bouffant, like, white haircut.
Oh my God, it's
and
so
with, like,
great.
a goofy crown. And he's wearing, like, the most illustrious pajamas you've ever seen.
Aren't they, like, red velvet?
They're, crushed red velvet.
Super
with,
elaborate.
Like, bunch of, like, big necklaces and shit. But he's doing a Dracula voice. He's doing the most Dracula voice anyone can do.
And he's Ricky Bobby with his hands.
Yeah. He's constantly like cloying at his face, and it's like, the children of the night. There's a bit in it where he's not a vampire. No, he's nowhere near a vampire. He's just a guy who wants to buy a house, and so he gets Jonathan Harker to his house. He's shaving in his room, and Gary Oldman is pontificating about fucking something. Keanu cuts himself, and he's like, "Oh, give me, I will clean it." And Keanu turns away from the camera, and then Gary Oldman does this weird, like
cleaning the rib.
Phantom of the Opera turn up, and then licks the straight razor clean,
like he's cleaning a rib.
I am almost certain that Francis Ford Coppola did not tell him to do that. I just think it's just something that he's like, oh, well, Dracula, he needs blood. He's
dried up.
He needs some blood. He hasn't had some in a while. This is blood on his thing. I'll just lick it. And he didn't tell anybody. And then he did it, and then someone was like, genius!
We keep rolling.
But Gary, and another guy in that movie that deserves another insane actor that has turned in some real shitty work. Anthony Hopkins. That's
Tom Waits.
Another camp, but that's Tom Waits.
That's just Tom Waits.
You
that's
get
not
what you
him.
pay for with Tom Waits.
He's not acting. That's just him.
But
he woke up in the morning doing that shit, and they just started filming him.
Anthony Hopkins plays Van Helsing in this movie, and he's the only actor in the movie that kind of knows that it's a shitty movie. So he just has as much fun with it as possible. There's a bit where after he kills Lucy's friend, or Nina's friend Lucy, what's her name? Heather.
Who cares?
Girl Interrupted.
Whore of the devil!
Girl Interrupted, the chick that plays Nina, I'm totally spacing on her name. Spock's mom.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder, thank you. She's delivering some sort of wooden dialogue about, like, why did you kill my friend? Was she in any pain? And he's cutting a roast to serve to everybody. He goes, yeah, she was in a lot of pain. And then I cut off her head, and then we set her on fire. She's fine.
Drove a stake
and then
through her heart.
Continues cutting the roast like it's nothing. Later on, or before that, when they're actually going to kill Lucy, he's so elated by it that he humps Carrie Elway's leg
like a dog in heat
before they ride into battle. Someone's like, what is she? Is she? And she goes, she's the whore of the devil. And then he jumps into frame and then just starts humping Carrie Elways' leg. This is a real movie.
You've seen this movie.
People got up.
You've never seen it?
People got up at dawn and boiled coffee and cut bagels to give Anthony Hopkins the fuel to hump Carrie Elways' leg mid-frame. These are movies. These are movies.
Okay, I kind of wanted.
You got another one?
I kind of wanted to interject something on the case of Gary Oldman. Have you seen the Gary Oldman commercial?
The new HTC one,
where
Gary
it's
Oldman
just
commercial.
it's literally just Gary Oldman. It's like blah 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 blah. The new HTC is coming out.
Yeah, in apropos of nothing.
And he's like, it doesn't matter what I say. You're going to form your own opinions. So go ahead, start forming your own opinions. And then he like sets the phone down and looks out the window and wistfully is like, blah, 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 blah.
Like another night in the city.
And there's no dialogue. It's just Gary Oldman just saying blah, 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 blah.
Gitana brought the Gary Busey commercial to my attention.
The Samsung phone, it's for the Amazon Fire TV or whatever.
Thing.
And it's just Gary fucking Busey.
Gary Big Teeth Busey.
Yeah,
Gary Big Teeth Busey.
I've
talking about don't you hate when you talk to things and they don't understand you? Hello, lamp. Hello, desk. And he's just like talking his shit around him, and then he talks to his remote and it doesn't do anything, and then he's
getting frustrated.
Yeah, he's
real
like,
frustrated.
What is it? And he probably strangles it and shoves some pills down its throat. I don't know.
Whatever Gary Busey's want to do.
Vitamin C and algae just straight into the veins.
Well, then he gets the Amazon remote and he says Gary Busey, and it pulls up all the Gary Busey movies, and he just has the cheesiest. I truly believe that was just someone pulling up all of his movies, and he's like, "Oh,
look at what you used to do. Look at what your career used to be. Look at all these Predator 2. You were amazing in Predator 2.
I gotta go away so Mickey Rooney can take my not Mickey Rooney, Mickey Rourke.
The commercial.
Mickey Rooney's dead.
Yeah.
In memoriam.
Rest in peace. Or some out for the Roonster. Fuck him. I don't care. The commercial ends with Gary Busey letting loose a yell of victory that he can now watch his own movies. He's like, Gary Busey, they bring up and he just goes, ha! Amazon Fire TV! And then the commercial ends. That's the entire commercial. God bless Gary Busey. I'm so glad he didn't overdose.
He's on the slope up.
I'm really glad he didn't overdose in the 80s. I think it's really amazing that we didn't find him dead in an empty pool somewhere.
I wrote one down.
He's a real hero.
It was not the first one that I came up with, but it was the first one that I wrote down when I wrote them down. And I know there's a little bit of resistance against it, but it's Denzel Washington.
Oh my God, yes.
He goes nuts, and it's amazing to see.
You've seen Flight, yes?
Well, I have not seen Flight, and
You need to see Flight.
I'm detecting sarcasm.
It's Denzel's biography.
Have you not seen Training Day?
Shows up here.
No, wait. Have you not seen Training Day?
Yeah, he's batshit nuts in Training Day.
Yeah, but that was his role.
No, have you not seen the other what was the one where he was the American...
Man on Fire?
John Q?
John Q.
Read any movie that he's made from 1997 till present. He's a living stereotype now.
When you showed me with John Lithgow.
Oh
my God, Ricochet!
Jesus,
God, that movie's amazing.
Please tell the kids about Ricochet.
Okay, has anybody seen Ricochet? Okay, you need to go.
It's fine.
Go down to Hastings. You can buy it for probably $1.
They'll give it away for a song.
Ricochet is a movie that's got John Lithgow. Do you know who John Lithgow is?
The dad from Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
Putting it in perspective, I'm putting it.
And Denzel.
To know that.
He was on Dexter.
He was on Dexter. He was a Dexter villain.
We're just trying to put it in historical context. It's fine.
Do any of you know what Third Rock?
He was Lord Farquaad's voice. Shrek.
Oh yeah, Shrek!
You
The
know
kids know Shrek!
Yeah.
Hey!
See, I got him! Hey!
Why did we become
That's
Italian chefs?
Okay, Ricochet is about a young cop, Denzel Washington, and a career criminal played by
John Lithgow.
Now, John Lithgow's about to explode the World Fair. Like, he's about to do
supervillain shit. Like,
he's about to
he does
make
supervillain shit this whole movie.
He's about to have his swan song. He's about to do the ultimate and become the world's most famous villain. And this kid is
this movie's candy.
This kid is this young Denzel Washington is. It's like a street cop. He's just barely getting there. Well, he and John Lithgow intersect, and he puts John Lithgow down. He puts him down, and he saves the city, and he becomes a national hero. And John Lithgow goes to prison, and he climbs up through the ranks as a hero, and he becomes like the assistant district attorney. Like, he's like this huge guy in the city. Cut to 10 years down the road, when he is an assistant DA. You know, this is a lot of time. He's an assistant district attorney, and John Lithgow, I think his ass broke out of prison.
Yes.
He broke out of prison and faked his own death.
Supervillain! He's a fucking supervillain!
He breaks out of prison, fakes his own death, and then starts stalking Denzel Washington to do two things. One, kill his ass. Butt sex.
Hard.
That would have been if it was made in the 70s.
Yeah.
This was made in the 80s, so it was ultra violence and revenge. So he wanted revenge, and he wanted to ruin Denzel Washington. So he was like, that motherfucker's after me. He's like, he's dead. They're like, no, you don't understand. I just saw him. No, we've got his fucking dental records. His ass was found charred in a bus. He's dead. And like, the whole movie is just...
This was made in the 80s?
Yeah, it's like the late 80s.
Oh, maybe...
So Denzel was coked out.
Maybe early 90s.
He's a baby in this movie. Like, he may be 13 years old.
They had, like, drugging Denzel and hiring some hooker to have sex with him in the helmet.
Yes. He hired
in a swimming pool
to slander him.
For real, what?
They
really crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Denzel's batshit nuts, baby. Like,
that's why you gotta love
he's
him.
Real nuts.
They empty a swimming
pool. Because I got
pool.
another one after this.
He empties the swimming pool, puts Denzel in there in a chain to he drugs him, puts him on a bed, and then he invites like the sketchiest whore he can find to have sex with Denzel Washington.
Real dime women here. Like,
to have sex with Denzel Washington, he films it, and then he sends it to Denzel's wife.
So like a Mark Millar supervillain.
He does this. He does this in an empty pool, and then he's like, he drugged me. I know he drugged me, and he put me. He's like, I'm going to show you where it's an empty pool, and they go, and there's like kids swimming in it. It's completely full, and so everybody thinks he's batshit nuts, and he's like, damn it! That's
cursing Lithgow's name to the sky.
That was one of his first movies.
Yeah, it's amazing,
and he goes batshit nuts from then on.
I will see and call you, Ricochet, with another cinematic gem by the name of Virtuosity.
Oh, dear.
Virtuosity. Anybody seen Virtuosity?
Take that coin, flip it around, and we got another movie.
The exact same movie, just the villain is Russell Crowe, a babyface Russell Crowe, before he's like fighting around the world and like throwing phones at people. But instead of being a real person, he is a... This is back in like the early 90s.
Yes!
This is the early 90s when everybody was obsessed with virtual reality. So constantly movies had virtual reality like weird spins. So Russell Crowe is a program that the police have made.
He's the ultimate villain.
He's the ultimate criminal. And he
escapes from the programming. And he becomes real.
Yeah, he jumps ship from the machine and starts stalking Denzel Washington because he's the only one that's bested him.
Oh my god!
The program has to be complete.
Movies in the early '90s couldn't get any better. Wishmaster came out then too. Just dropping it in there.
Wishmaster.
No. Okay. Let's get back on topic.
There's a bit in this movie where they shoot Russell Crowe in the real world, and he bleeds blue crystals. Like, he's like, so his blood is just like blue, like weird rupee. It's fucking candy. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the special effects are top of the line. God, it looks like Lawnmower Man.
Wait. Oh god damn it! What was the? Oh shit.
Russell Crowe is another person that we can make an argument for that's just gone shit splat nuts.
He pulls out Because, Russell Crowe is just speeding down the fucking highway, and Denzel Washington's in the back of an SUV, and he's like, give me a gun, and they hand him an assault rifle, and he throws it away, and he's like, no, get old Painless out of the bag, and they pull out this fucking rocket launcher, and he launches a rocket in downtown traffic,
like peak hour. People are just
no. They're on like a bridge. They're on like the George Washington Bridge, and he just sends this fucking missile launching across to kill Russell Crowe.
Isn't there a bit where Russell Crowe in that movie pulls the Predator 2 bit where Predator is injured and then he makes that goop in the sink and then heals himself? I feel like there's a bit. So. There's a bit in Virtuosity.
He knows how to
He knows how to rewrite his code, but he needs material.
He breaks glass and then he starts chewing it.
He breaks glass and then he starts eating it, and like his sucking chest wound that he got just
starts dissipating
and heals itself. And he's like, much better. God. He retains his Australian accent in this movie, by the way. So he's chasing an Australian computer program.
I know what I'm watching tonight. I just remembered what
Yeah, he wears like a shark skin suit through the whole movie. It's like a purple, god damn it. You could just film whatever you wanted in the 90s if you had cameras and 2 barely bankable stars at the time.
They weren't even stars. They were just there.
Oh my God, Gitana, I feel like we're stepping all over you. Talking about Russell Crowe and
I just feel
Denzel
like
Washington.
we've skipped over one just.
Okay,
so...
please expose this nerd.
I mean, Mel Gibson. Guys.
Yes, holy shit.
All right. What was the first time that you thought, you know what? I bet this guy doesn't have it all together up in his head.
What is the movie he did with Helen Hunt where...
What Women Want?
What
Women Want?
Okay.
I knew precisely what you were talking about.
The look in his eye, the entire...
You only love it because you haven't seen it in years.
No. Don't get me wrong. I love that movie. That was the first time I saw Mel Gibson, and I was like, that guy's not screwed on tight.
He's real crazy.
He has really shifty eyes.
What with the nose strips and the pantyhose up?
Yeah,
and the way he wiggled up into like he had done it before.
That's just, no, you sit down and then you pull them up. You don't try to do them standing.
Get the gringo.
I have amazing legs. That's just what I'm getting to.
Slim, petite.
I have incredible legs.
Built for speed.
No, not comfort. But no, What Women Want is just a real exercise in batshit. I haven't seen it, but I desperately want to. He did a movie recently, directed by Jodie Foster, called The Beaver.
No,
I really
don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch
I've
that.
seen it.
Wait. Okay.
Again, it's just so. It's creepy. Like, there were times when I literally had to get up out of the room and walk away.
Pause the movie.
Tell the audience the premise of The Beaver.
What was it?
Yeah, which is a joke in itself.
Like, his wife wanted to divorce him, or his life wasn't going right, and he was really depressed, and he finds this beaver puppet in a dumpster, I believe.
Yeah, just trucking around
when
town.
When life's not going my way, the first place I go is to a dumpster, just to find what
I
it has
need to find
give
a puppet to voice my pain.
So he stops.
That puppet has herpes. Simply say.
Does he stop talking completely and only talks?
I've never seen the movie.
You're preaching to an unknown audience.
You know what? Fuck y'all. Yeah, he does. He stops.
You
talking
wrote it. Fuck him.
Yeah. No. He'll talk, but the beaver does a lot of the talking, and the beaver never leaves his side though. But like his wife and his kids start to fall in love with him again.
Well, because the beaver's the better side of him.
Yeah, the beaver is what makes him happy. It's what makes him caring.
The beaver's the man he used to be, and the hollow husk that stands beside the beaver is what Mel Gibson is now.
And
it's like a perfect analogy of his career.
This is
just like that. This is 1984.
This is Riggs.
Yeah.
This is Screaming at a Cop in L.A.
This is Sugar Tits. This is Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
But I feel like the first draft of this movie was like the guy he sits down at the typewriter, starts to plank out the keys. He's like, and then the guy, he finds a dead beaver in the trash. It's halfway cut in half. He puts the beaver on his hand and it starts making him feel like a whole well, nope, too dark. That's way too dark. What's way too dark?
Man. There we go.
I desperately want to see this movie, but Mel Gibson is definitely a dude. I really, really want to see it.
I don't.
God damn it!
It's kind of like when somebody was like, "Oh, hey, The Road's coming out," and I was like, "I'm fucking good." I read the book. I don't want to be depressed for an hour and a half, and then have to think about my life for the next 2 weeks.
It's bleakly. It ends just as horrific as you'd probably think it does. It's fucking bad. I had another one on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't.
Tracy Morgan, I fully agree.
I was gonna say Danny DeVito, but Danny DeVito has turned into the skid of him going insane and just made a sitcom career out of it.
Yeah,
it's just I feel like the Frank from Always Sunny is just Danny DeVito every day. Yeah. Like he gets up, he puts on a greasy wife beater, he he teases out his hair, and he's like, I got an 8 a.m. call time. He cracks a beer, he heads to set, and he lays down gold. He does nothing but take after take after take of gold.
There was another one I wanted to bring up. Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to Dustin Hoffman is just sad now, though. Like I feel like Dustin Hoffman just bums me out.
Well, I also feel
come
like
on, he made Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Exactly.
And then he made Dr. Parnassus and
was Hoffman and Dr. Parnassus?
No, he wasn't.
That was Christopher.
No. What other? It was like Mr. Megorium's
Plummer.
Emporium. What was it? He just makes a lot of the
Mr.
same
Megorium's
movie.
Wonder Emporium. That's super weird guy running a super weird thing.
And
there's another one where he's
doesn't he do like a weird affected voice in that? Like he has like a lisp.
He's
like
super
weird.
He's super. He's nasally. He's very nasally.
I can pinpoint the moment that he started going down.
Dumb.
Hook.
Yes.
I was going to say Hook.
Hook. Fuck you.
No. I want it known. I love Hook. Hook is one of my most favorite movies.
Oh, wait.
I was going to say, Hook is, you can make an argument for Hook.
I want a cookie.
I
want my mommy. I want.
I was going to say The Messenger, the Joan of Arc story. There was a movie in 1999 called The Messenger, the Joan of Arc story, starring Mila Jovovich as Joan of Arc, of course.
Because who wouldn't cast?
And he plays God. At the very end of the movie, he's God. He shows up for 8 minutes max. He's second build in the movie. It's Mila Jovovich and Dustin Hoffman. He shows up 8 minutes at the very end, right before they put Joan of Arc on the stake. And he's like, but his God is basically just like, what are you doing? You can just say that I'm not real. Like you can get out of this right now. He's basically like he's the devil on the shoulder. He's barely God in this movie.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you know the one movie where his crazy just works so incredibly well, Stranger Than Fiction.
Stranger Than Fiction. He's really good in.
It's just so incredibly
that's
well.
That's just it. Okay, that's just it though. Because I feel that when you give a crazy ass performance, hypothetically, I'm gonna throw out two hypotheticals. I'm gonna throw out not hypotheticals. They're fucking in the can. There's Nic Cage in Bad Lieutenant, Port of New Orleans.
Yes, the sequel to Bad Lieutenant.
That's a movie. That's a movie that exists, and it's amazing because his ass is completely off the wall. There's that, and then you have Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
As William Cutting in Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Another batshit insane performance.
One of them gets
lauded.
One of them gets an Oscar.
Trophies at it.
Yeah, one gets an Oscar, and the other one gets blacklisted.
On a recent episode of Community.
Where's the dividing line? Does Scorsese have to be behind the camera for you to get?
There was a recent episode of Community where they take a class on Nic Cage. There's an entire class devoted to the film canon of Nic Cage, and the title of the class is Nic Cage, good or bad. And the character Shirley says when they actually when they're watching all these Nic Cage movies, she's like, I mean, I guess if you just keep overemphasizing words and yelling at people, eventually they're going to give you an Oscar. And I feel like that's really true.
Yeah.
Like, if you barely put a little bit of crazy in your performance at some point, someone's going to be like, genius!
A man yelled "bastard" in a basket.
Yeah,
and was yelling at a kid relative,
Paul
Dano in a movie that his brother was the actual son, and he was just the afterbirth.
Oh no, that's his actual kid. I was thinking about when he murders Paul Dano.
No, he does. He's yelling at Paul Dano. He says, "Your brother was the good one." He's like, "Your brother was the one that came to me." He's like, "He was the idea man. He was the one that was inspired." He's like, "You're nothing." He's like, "You're just the afterbirth that fell out." And I was like, "You got either nominated or won an Oscar for that performance."
I'm pretty sure he did win an Oscar.
Pretty sure he won an Oscar.
And then you have
exactly your afterbirth that fell out of your mother's crotch.
There's another person that's joined that canon now recently, Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix just shows up looking like a fucking hunched over troll and then just weird, because I loved The Master. Straight up loved The Master. I thought it was a really fucking great movie. His performance made me wildly uncomfortable. We saw it in the theaters. My wife and I saw it in theaters. My wife couldn't hate a movie more than The Master. Like,
I was 8 months pregnant.
She was pregnant.
Awful.
We walk out of the movie theater and I feel it just like a white hot dwarf star.
That's normal with Paul Thomas Anderson films.
Yeah,
I've watched a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson films where I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I mean, how many? Okay. When you watched Boogie Nights on DVD. First of all, if you watch Boogie Nights on DVD, that's already saying something about you. How many times did you have to be like, pause, I gotta go get a drink or take
some water on your face.
I gotta go smoke or something.
Boogie Nights actually has momentum, forward momentum. The Master is just a meandering set of scenes, barely strung together with a score. I still liked it, and it had a narrative to me, but I completely understand why people were like, "Fuck this movie, fuck Paul Thomas Anderson." Just why?
All right. I feel like we're snowballing here.
You are.
Wow. All right. Cool.
Wow. I mean, I said mine, Tracy Morgan.
But I think Tracy Morgan is just
banking on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, turning into a skid, much like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I love 30 Rock. I mean, Tina Fey's amazing, don't get me wrong. But I literally feel like they don't even know what Tracy Morgan's going to say, ever. And, their scripts are just written. So if he says something like this, maybe we go here.
It's in brackets, Tracy says something funny, and then dovetails into the writers don't know where to get bagels.
Half of those cuts he wasn't supposed to be in. He was just walking on and saying things.
There was an actor.
We'll keep it.
That's my Bill Murray analogy. Bill Murray, when he films a cameo, he just wanders onto the set. The filmmakers are like, "Oh, Bill Murray's here! We have to rolling, do something!" And then he's like, "Wubba lubba dub dub," and then just wanders off. And they're like, "We've got gold!" And it's gold. That's the only reason Space Jam's watchable. The 10-minute,
we're not going there.
The 5-minute, the 5-minute scene.
He brought it back around. He brought it back
full
around.
Circle for your other
first episode, she defended the hell out of Space Jam.
Damn it!
It's poignant.
Thank you so much for being on the show again, Gitana.
It was so much fun.
This one flew by because we were just kind of screaming. Do you have something to wrap us up?
No, because there was one character, and it's going to drop us back into the bucket, but you made him our fucking banner.
Oh, Alan Moore?
No.
Oh,
Willem Dafoe.
Oh yeah, Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is another guy that's just turned into this crazy.
Willem.
Oh yeah, Gitana came to a crushing realization today before the show. She informed me that she's like, Willem Dafoe's name is Willem. It is not William. I was like, no, I know. She's like, I fucking didn't. That's news to my ass. But no, he is another guy that's just kind of turned into the skid. And
have you seen Antichrist?
Yes, I have seen Antichrist.
And
And he's relatively normal in that movie, and it's
in
just
comparison
it's
to the
just
whole...
the rest of the movie that shit splat nuts around Willem Dafoe's pretty muted performance.
I think his pull of crazy is just so great that originally was just a very sane, beautiful movie, but he just interjected himself.
He's always been crazy.
Yeah, he's always been really nuts.
He makes one of the best villains.
Platoon, Last Temptation. But even then, that's Last Temptation of Crazy.
Boondock Saints?
Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
God, that movie is not as good as you remember. But no, even Last Temptation, he does another middle-of-the-road performance. It still looks crazy.
Jesus walking through the woods with an axe.
With a fucking axe, like he's gonna regulate. Like that's my favorite Jesus movie, hands down, because it shows Jesus just whipping ass at the very end of it. It's amazing.
Well, and it shows Jesus making
Jesus Christ, Vampire Slayer.
Another goodie. That's another.
There's a movie called Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a real.
Wait! I'm gonna blow your mind more. It's a musical.
Yeah, it is. Have
you not seen it?
It is a straight musical. We have done you a disservice. So it's toe tap.
It's one movie that I started watching it and I was like, I can't watch this. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, I got past the first 15 minutes and I was like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever made.
Stop making movies now. They've made the medium obsolete.
Because
Jesus Christ.
Because it takes like all the themes from like Rocky Horror Picture Show and like classic musicals and Bollywood, and it just injects them into this Jesus Christ vampire story, and it's just. Oh my God! It's amazing.
Nothing but candy.
It's amazing.
Gitana, you've got a lot of irons in the fire. Tell the audience where they can find you, your business.
Yeah.
Give you some good plugs.
I own the GM Performing Arts Studio, Backdoor Theater, musical lessons of any sort, and more classes and activities to come. Comedy, improv, I don't know.
Free balloons on Sunday for the kids.
So,
like we did last week, we're gonna give away a door prize. Nobody panic.
Can I teach your comedy class?
Everybody okay?
No.
Damn it! Can I teach your improv class?
No.
Damn it!
Can
I teach your fat asshole class?
100%.
Yeah! I got one!
Like last week, we had a door prize for the best question that we got, because this is the only way we know to troll for questions, because people don't send this to them in the email or the Twitter. So if you have the best question, you win a near mint copy of Vertigo Comics' The Extremist, written by Peter Milligan. So we're going to open it up to the audience and see if you guys have anything that's worth the comic.
Questions about me?
Anybody? Yeah, it's anybody. For anybody in the panel, will answer anything. It doesn't have to be about the topic.
What color panties are you wearing?
Wow! God
Black.
Damn, that got
Black.
Yeah.
All right, we got one on the board.
I like that you're pulling pride. I enjoy that.
That new Johnny Depp movie coming out.
Transcendence. I don't know how I feel about it. Every time I see a trailer for it.
Mocking this movie, a minute ago.
No.
It's basically virtuosity. No, it's basically virtuosity just taken really seriously. And I fucking hope that at some point people are going to be like, "This is a gold mine. Virtual reality's king again."
Why didn't we talk about Johnny Depp?
Oh, we should have talked about it. But Johnny Depp just would have made me sad.
Wait. Johnny Depp, though, he always was crazy.
Yeah. There's never been a point in time in which he wasn't crazy.
He never started.
Jump Street, he was kind of normal.
Well, I mean, like, in the first 15 minutes of Nightmare.
Yeah.
Remember when Richard Grieco was like the guy and Johnny Depp was just the other guy?
Just the sidekick.
The guy that looked like Richard Grieco.
They really hitched their fucking wagon to that great horse for Richard Grieco. No, I'm probably gonna end up seeing it because
he was in Roxbury. He was in Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, he was in Night at the Roxbury. It's from that
Oscar-worthy movie.
It's from Nolan's cinematographer, and he's always the guy that makes Christopher Nolan's movies look really awesome. So I'm excited about it. I kind of temperedly, because I'm sure we'll start to see it, and it's just a real hunk of shit.
Who's this female opposite in that movie?
It's Michelle. It's the chick from Iron Man 3. The girl that played Maya Hansen in Iron Man 3. I don't remember her
Monahan?
name.
No, that's not a name, is it?
Yes, it's yeah. So anybody else? We got two on the board. what color are your panties? And just to kind of give you a spectrum. What color are your panties? And what do you think of the new Johnny Depp movie?
Because it's
We're in 7th grade.
It's just the shit that I talked about in middle school.
And then, God, what do you think Ben thinks about me?
But what do you think Ben thinks about the new Johnny Depp movie? And my panties. I don't know why we're the strong bad, like the teen girl squad characters. Nobody really. This is depressing.
You heard about the Point Break remake?
Yeah, fuck it.
The new what?
I'm not gonna see that. They're remaking Point Break.
Point Break? No.
They're remaking Point Break.
No.
Ray Winston is playing. This is the only thing that kind of gets me excited about it. Ray Winstone is playing the Gary Busey role, and that kind of makes me want to see it. Like just because Ray Winston is one of those actors.
Please tell me Keanu Reeves is coming back to reprise his role.
No, it's some dancer guy. He's done nothing. He's only modeled and he's danced a couple of times in I think he was one of Lady Gaga's backup dancers. And this is his first.
Okay. So the performance is going to be as good as Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it's going to be on par with Keanu Reeves.
But no, did you hear?
That's a good place to reach.
Speaking of nutball remakes, did you know that I think you're the one that showed it to me. Key and Peele.
Yeah, Key and Peele is going to give us a new Police Academy movie, and
Oh my God.
I cannot be more excited about it. It's like the opposite of RoboCop and Point Break to me. It's a remake that I will be there day one to fucking see. But no, Point Break, I'm not gonna see it. Not gonna see it at all. Do the eyes have it? He's the only guy that
I think the paintings question was legitimate.
Do you just throw your
throw my hatchet into the mud?
We're gonna thank Gitana once again for being on the show. We want to thank you guys very much for being here. We want to thank Brian, the proprietor of Geekopolis, for letting us do this every week. We really just keep pumping it through. We really appreciate you guys from. They're throwing me off because. Now, if you believe, children, and you clap very hard, the show will end. Fuck you. Fuck each and every one of you. Go fuck yourselves. I hope you all get syphilis. It's in the way that you use it. There
we go.
Come get your prize, buddy.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
So this is my buddy.